Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Motivation Monday, and I'm just going to welcome myself back because today is the very first day after moving and being overseas that I can finally just get on with my life. So I'm really excited to be back and start organizing. I can't wait to get my office together so I don't have to film on my bedroom floor anymore. But yeah, I'm really excited. So today's video is going to be about taking control of your life. There are many different ways about controlling your life, but today I wanted to kind of give you a bit of an insight into changing your perspective, which can help you take control of your emotions instead of everybody else controlling your emotions. So the reason this video idea came about was because I posted a photo while I was away. I now have a link to my Instagram in the description, and I posted a before and after, and I'll put them here on the screen, kind of just showing how I edited my photo and that how nothing on Instagram is actually quite real. Like nobody's life looks quite like it does. It's all edited. Everything on Instagram is edited. I don't think I know anyone that doesn't edit. Pretty much every person I follow on Instagram, I know for a fact edits their photos. So I edit with Photoshop and Lightroom, and I edit because I enjoy it. And I'm a creative person and I love the creative process. To me, editing photos is a time where I can like make a cup of tea and just sit down, zone out from the rest of the world and just focus on something that I really enjoy. And it can take hours, and so I really enjoy it. It's something that's just really fun. I think my favorite part is matching the tones and the colors in two entirely different photos or multiple different photos that have been taken at different times in different lighting and kind of making them all look like they're the same sort of photo taken at the same time. Like that to me is like my favorite part. Anyway, I enjoy editing. So I wrote this caption and I said a few different things. I'll leave the photo, like the link in the description so you can go and read what I wrote. I did have to go back and re-edit it because I realized that the response I had on that photo from a few people was not the response I was wanting. Somehow the original post that I wrote made it sound like what I do is totally fine and what everybody else does is not good enough, which was not the intent of me writing that post. I am not that person. I will never be that person. I'm not gonna throw shade at other people. I hate the word shade. Like, I hate that. I don't even know why I use that word then. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that because everybody is free to edit their photos how they want. Everybody is free to live their life how they want, and I am in no place to judge anybody. So that kind of sparked the idea for talking about this in a video, just because some of the responses I was a bit like, yeah, that's not where I was going with that post. So basically what I was saying was that here are two images. One is really edited and the other one is just the original, and it's quite dark and dank and an entirely different vibe to the second photo. And I was saying that you'll probably find that most people on Instagram are creative people. People who make YouTube videos and people who do photography and photos are creative. So they're going to love the creative process of editing. And so people do it because they enjoy it. They probably do it for basically the same reason that I do, because it's really enjoyable to take on a challenge and make things look the same and be really creative with it. So that's the main reason. I did also mention that some people out there do like to edit their photos because they want people to see them a certain way. And I think that's kind of the part that some people get a bit funny about. That's the part that people tend to take quite negatively. And then another part of my caption, I was stating that some people edit the lighting and the filters and all of that stuff, and others edit themselves. And I probably should have also wrote in the caption that some people do both. I do both sometimes, because I did have someone being like, yeah, I hate it when people smooth out their skin. And I'm like, I actually was like, I do smooth out my skin sometimes. If I feel like it and I want to do a little smoothing, I might do a little smoothing. It just depends on how I feel. I don't do it to every photo, but it's how I do. And I know some people who smooth out like crazy, and it just, that kind of response really got me upset, because I was like, no, I'm not trying to say that my way is better than anybody else's. And I didn't want people to kind of be like, yeah, I agree with you, but I hate everybody else that does it this way, because that's not the kind of person I am. And I don't want to encourage people to be that kind of like one-sided and really negative about things. So that aside, I realized that there are a lot of people out there who really hate editing, and I just kind of was like, why? Why would you let someone else's behavior and what someone else chooses to do with, in this case, their Instagram photos, affect how you feel emotionally? You are out of control. You have no control over your feelings if you are letting somebody else's actions affect you that way. So sometime last year, I used to go on Instagram and I used to feel quite crappy about myself. And I know everybody has kind of been in that situation where you go on Instagram and you look at people and you look at all the photos and you just feel really crappy about yourself. Then I learnt to edit, and the more that I played around with editing, the more that I learnt, and I realized that everything on Instagram isn't quite as it seems, and therefore I was able to detach myself from it and not let what other people do affect me, because I knew that it wasn't real. So there's 2 points to this video that I'm kind of going with. One, a big reminder that everything on Instagram isn't quite real, so don't let that affect you. But also, if people are choosing to edit their videos or choosing to live their life in a certain way, don't let that affect you either. Because realistically, what other people do has nothing to do with you. So don't take it on. Don't take on board other people's things that you don't agree with. So that's when I was able to go, okay, well, pretty much everything on Instagram isn't real, so why would I let this affect me? If I know how to edit, then I can kind of pinpoint where everybody else has edited and know what they've edited and know what they've done to their photos. So then I just realized that nothing was real. Then I stopped worrying about it, whatever. But the bigger thing that I realized, and the bigger message I wanted to talk about, was, yeah, people get very upset over the way that people edit, whether it's face tuning and smoothing out their skin or changing their body shape. Look, there are things that I won't do, but I don't want to shame other people for the choices that they make. I just want people to kind of step back and go, just because I don't agree with that doesn't mean that I should waste my energy on hating it and being really negative towards it. Like, it's just such a waste of your energy. I don't edit my photos the exact same way that everybody else does. Some people don't edit theirs at all and don't edit enough for my liking. And then there's some people who edit too much for my liking. But it doesn't mean either are wrong. It doesn't mean that anybody is wrong. I don't want to be negative towards people that don't do things the way that I do. Like, if editing your photos so much makes you happy, or not editing them at all makes you happy, or editing them a little bit, or doing it in a complete unique style that's to you makes you happy, then that's all that matters to me. I want people to do what makes them happy, even if it's not something that I would necessarily do. Different topics, same kind of thing. I would like to try lip fillers. I see a lot about it. I'd like to try it. I'm not interested in having massive lips. I know there are people out there who love the massive lips, but just because that's not what I would do, I would never say something negative about it. I would never want to make them feel bad for their choices and what they like, because that's a really, really awful thing to do. But yeah, so in all of that rambling that I just went on with, the main point is that you have the ability to control your emotions by letting go of what other people do. When you stop being upset and hating and harboring all that negativity towards other people's actions and concentrate on yours and just respecting what people do, then you will be much more happier and you'll feel like you are in a much better place, because you will have control of your emotions and you will have control of your feelings, and you'll be able to just lead a much lighter and happier life when you let go of what other people do. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Sometimes the things that people do still drive me insane, especially on Twitter. I'm just like, but I'm trying to learn to just let it go and refrain from feeding into anything that just really shouldn't be worthy of my time. So it's about practicing just respecting other people's decisions, even if you don't agree with them, and letting it go and not being a negative person. I personally just don't think that I would be happy with myself if I was one of those people that's out there being nasty and saying my negative opinion to everyone, because that's just draining and I don't want to be that person. I would just not be happy if that was the kind of person that I was. So I just want to touch on the topic of respecting what everybody else chooses to do makes you in control. I know that fighting for what you believe in and fighting for your opinion and your point of view may seem like you're in control, but I honestly don't feel like it's that. I think it's when you have the power to let things go and to concentrate on yourself is when you are truly in control. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful. I just kind of wanted to also clarify where I was going with that original Instagram post. And I hope that you've had a fabulous Monday, and I'm so excited to start getting in and making videos. And up the top here, you can check out my last video. Down the bottom, I will leave a link to another one of my videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!